Hey, I'm Jacob Barlow, and today I'm going to be talking about Milsim. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff going around about military simulation. That's what Milsim stands for. There's a bunch of different things you can do with it. You can either make it really cool, or it's kind of pointless. It's good if you're a scenario paintball player, but if you're just doing the casual woods ball or air ball or X ball or whatever, then there's no reason for Milsim. Here, we're going to talk about it today. Here I've just got a stock X7. Okay? Alright, now let's see it when it's got Milsim. When we make it Milsimmed out, we're going to make this a military simulation gun if we were going to play scenario paintball. Okay, now we've got the gun totally ready for military simulation. Same exact gun, and it looks way different. We got it looking like an M4 now, a military issue M4. We've got an Obscure NC Star 1x30 red dot scope on here. We've got the Special Ops Tippmann stock for the X7 on here. The beautiful thing about the X7 is it has over 1,000 different looks. You can make it look like almost any gun: AK-47, M4, M16, G36, MP5, UMP, whatever you want. This is also an Obscure hand grip. It's adjustable. It's got this removable pad if you want to put a flashlight on here, and you can put the pad down here. Okay, now that is about as far as I would go if you're going to do any kind of military simulation. I mean, this feels like a real gun. I mean, this is military issued weapon right here. It's got the adjustable stock. You can do an adjustable far out stock or compact for urban play. And the red dot scope is also very nice. It's got a red dot on it. Can't see it when you look straight at it, but I can see it when I look through it. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of Milsim. Milsim is good if you're doing scenario. If you want the real feel of real guns, if you're doing a good old game of CTF and you have a military strategy to it, and you have a certain scenario of what you're supposed to follow, and you want a real military feel, it's great. For urban paintball, this is awesome. I prefer Milsim looks just for the feel, and because in urban it just actually feels like you're clearing rooms and doing a military procedure. But for tournament games and all that, you would be stupid to try to do this. You would get shot so fast. I mean, this is a huge gun. The X7 is already big stock. You wouldn't even want to play with that. You've got a huge hopper, for one thing. I mean, it is low profile, but it is very big compared to a lot of speedball gun hoppers. But this gun, with all of this on there, it's very big. I mean, for urban play, if you're playing a scenario game, it doesn't matter if your gun gets shot. There's no outs for if your gun gets shot in most scenario-styled games. It's all vital areas and stuff, because it's supposed to be realistic. But for speedball, an airball, an X-ball, if you get shot anywhere on this gun, you're done. The ref says you're out and you got to go. So this would be a bad decision. And even in just a pickup game, woods ball game, you're just playing with your friends, you can do this for fun. I mean, I do it, but I don't put all of this on here. And I mean, I just don't. The only thing I use when I play woods ball is this stock that's on, and this is good right here. This is all I'm ever going to put on this gun. And I mean, you've got all these rail mounts on here, and that is for if you want to do some scenario stuff. You can put flashlights and lasers and all that, but why even use that? The only reason you would use a flashlight or a laser in paintball is if you're playing in an urban setting. If you're really close quarters, if it's dark, then yeah, I would definitely use a flashlight. But they're still kind of stupid. A flashlight is basically saying, shoot me, I'm right here, when you have your flashlight on. They're good for strobing. If you go into a room and you flash it on really fast and see what's around the corner, that's good, but that's about the only reason you need it for. For the laser, not very good. You have to sight it into your gun. I mean, some people think you just put a laser on your gun and you're good to go. It's pointing right where you're going to shoot. That's not true. You have to sight it in, and as farther the range you get with the laser, the farther off it's going to be from where your paintball is going to hit. So this is about as far as I go right here. I mean, this stocks are very practical. It provides a lot of stability. You've got it right up here to your shoulder. Move around a corner, you've got it right there. And it doesn't matter if you do want to hold it away from your shoulder, you can. You just It's easy. You hold it away, and it's adjustable, so you pull it right in here, and you can pull it around like that. And the only reason I have this magazine is because you can put stuff on the inside of it. Allen wrenches, a small squeegee, and it does look really cool. But you know, red dot scopes are very nice for scenario gameplay, but I'm not a very big fan of them, because most guns you don't even look down the sights when you're playing, and if you have a stock on your gun, you can't. You can with the X7. It's a slimmed out stock. It's a lot more slim than a lot of other stocks, so you can put your mask up against it and you can look down the sight. But I just look down right the side of my gun. I don't even use the sights. I just look down right down the side of my gun there, and I know where my paintballs are going to hit. If you're familiar with your gun, you don't even need to use the sights. So red dot scopes are not very practical. These foregrips, if you have a problem with stability, then go for it. I mean, some people use them on Tippmanns because they complain about Tippmanns being very heavy. They are. This is about 3.5 pounds stock, and then you put a buttstock on here, and you got your full hopper in the tank, and it gets up there pretty heavy, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, this is a heavy gun, and they're having trouble holding up. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we play CTF, and I can get the flag and hold this up one-handed really easy and shoot people if I'm running in and stuff, and it's not a problem. I mean, if you're a really tiny guy and you're a beginner, then it might be a little bit more difficult. You know, I mean, Milsim's very cool. But it is going too far. Besides all the stuff I've said, there's tons of other things. Like, they've got grenade launchers now for Milsim. I mean, if you're doing a military training exercise, if you've joined the Marines or the Army, and they've got you in there doing an exercise and you're a grenader and you need that on there, and you need to train with that, because the military does train with paintball guns for tactics training and strategy training. I mean, their scrimmages and stuff are laser tag systems. Some people think that they use paintball, some people think they use airsoft. No way, no way. They wouldn't use that. These guns, and especially airsoft, they don't shoot far enough for all that scrimmaging. But they've got all these grenade launchers you can mount them on the bottom of your gun. What's that? That makes no sense. Some people say, well, you can put a shotgun shell in there and it fires 5 .48 caliber paintballs. What's the difference between firing that and sending 3 rounds right out of your 68 caliber paintball gun? It's going to get them out just as easy. It takes longer to get down there and pull that trigger. And you've got a ton more weight. Those things weigh about 2 pounds by themselves. You've got this huge thing hanging off the front of your gun, and that makes it really front heavy. So, I mean, that kind of stuff I don't understand. But this right here is all you need. If you like the cool scenario look at this. This gun looks pretty sick. I mean, that's why I'm not doing anything else to it. I like the scenario look. I like the realistic feel. This feels very realistic. If you've shot an M4 or an AR-15, then you know. And I've shot those before, so I know that this feels very real. So don't go crazy on the Milsim thing, but don't get mad at people that do it. Some people do it because that's the style they play. If you play scenario, go for it. I've played a couple scenario games, like real serious scenario games, and like VIP and stuff, and all these games like that where you get in a big group of people and you play these big scenario games, and you want the realistic feel, especially if it's urban. Urban's just the best friend of that. But if you're doing tournaments and just for fun games, don't even get into it. It's too much money. You can just spend tons of money, especially on Tippmanns. They've got all these mounts and stuff, the 98s, the A5s, they've got all these mounts. You can just mount anything you want on them, and money just starts flying away. I've seen people use thousands of dollars on these things. And I kind of ran into that problem with my A5 before I got the X7. I started piling stuff on it, and I found obscure.com, and it's an awesome website. I recommend it to you if you want to do a scenario look on your gun. But I just went crazy, and I spent over $600 on that gun. Listen to this is all I've gotten aftermarket for this thing. Everything else is stock on it, and it's great. So that's all I've got to say about Milsim. You know, just don't let yourself go too crazy with it, but if you want to do it, just go for it. Don't let my words stop you. Just be careful what you're doing. Don't take it seriously. Don't act like you're killing people with this whole military simulation thing. It's fun. It's great. I recommend it to whoever wants to try it out. Just be aware of what's going on.